Chapter 12: The Ambush. I was about 8 years old. Everyone in town was excited because the Archbishop was coming from Oaxaca City to baptize the snake. I really wanted to go, but my parents sent me to herd the goats. Supposedly, it is a very big snake, and very old. From many generations in the past. Tia Rosalinda is the woman sitting in front of us. She's 89 years old. A delight to witness. Amazing memory. Exactly what Michael was looking for. The leadership and wisdom we need. It's a shame I'm the only one who can truly appreciate the wholeness of who she is. Radiating positive energy all throughout the conversation. She is wearing a dress that almost reaches her ankles. It turns out she oversaw the ceremony several times when she was younger. Lucky, fortunate, and very blessed we are to have been sent to the place we are at. She is a legacy, that's what I've been witnessing in the 3 hours we have spent with her. She keeps surprising us every so often. She spent this morning making 10 pounds of tortillas by hand. I told her not to worry about it, but she doesn't get it. Her daughter, who was busy all morning figuring out why the water was not reaching her crops, told her. "I'm not gonna stand doing nothing if I can do it," was Rosalinda's response. "She's a donkey. You cannot make her understand," Rosario said, ending the conversation by shaking her head. "Mom, we thank you for providing for your children," Tia Rosalinda continues. "And we ask you for protection for the upcoming year. It's 7 bites that have to be offered, and the show beta has no spices. Simple, no salt or nothing." "Oh, so the food is prepared specifically for the snake?" I ask, frowning. "Yes, it's the first plate served in the day, just show beta with no salt or condiments." "In the morning?" "Oh yeah, before dawn. In fact, many stay at the springs overnight. Everyone serving in the town's council will carry everything the night before to have everything ready in the morning." "Really? Sounds very tiring." "It is, but everyone already knows that and knows that it has to be done. A celebration that has as much importance as any other big holiday. A female. A snake. A mother figure, a protector. A culture that evolved so detached from the Western world, yet managing to survive in the middle of it. We were lucky to be offered food while at their house because the hotel is at least an hour away from this part of the town in these tiny backroads. Potato stew Rosario cooked earlier in the day and the handmade tortillas Tia Rosalinda made were the delicacies we had the privilege to devour. It might have been better than eating at a restaurant. When we leave their home, the sun is setting. "What do they put in their tortillas?" asked Samantha as we struggle going up a rocky hill. "What don't they put in their tortillas?" should be your question. "I think it's only some calcium powder thingy when cooking the corn before they make the dough. I think that's all. These don't taste like corn tortillas. It's probably all the chemicals that stop it from going bad. We are treated like hogs," exclaimed Samantha. "I think I'm falling in love with Mexican food." "I mean, frozen burritos should not be considered food," I say, laughing. "Or any cheap frozen food, really. I was iffy about trying the stew, but oh my god. It was freaking delicious. There's gotta be more than potatoes and corn in there." "Maybe Rosario is just a good cook. Seasoning is a big part of the difference, but it's like anything homemade, really." "Yeah, as I said, we're treated like hogs." "Or you're a bad cook," Michael adds. "You need to cook more if you don't want to eat like a pig." "Who asked you anyways?" Samantha says, rolling her eyes. "What if instead of complaining about the world, you go open the trunk to do your job?" Michael says and lifts the suitcase that contains the equipment we used to record the conversation with Tia Rosalinda. "Of course, boss," Samantha responds before opening the driver's side door to open the trunk of the car. "I was forgetting that I needed to act professional." Michael dismisses Samantha's comment and turns to Pablo, who looks to be ready to fall asleep in the driver's seat. "How about I drive us back to the hotel, is that okay?" he asks. "Comprenda? Vroom vroom," he says and holds an invisible steering wheel, and Pablo looks at him confused. "Alejandro, we need you." Everyone else is quietly waiting to fall asleep as Michael drives. I wake up at every turn when I'm thrown to the side. The car has a manual transmission and according to Michael, it has been more than a decade since he has driven a car such as this. 30 minutes go by before we start going down the hill to cross the bridge over the river. I can barely keep my eyes open with my forehead leaning against the window. When we crossed it earlier, Pablo told us this is a very sketchy area. People tend to avoid it at night. As a semi-arid place, the vegetation is not very tall on the fields. But by the river, it is different. Tall trees, full of life, hide anything that doesn't want to be seen under the shadows they cast at night. Pablo mentioned a series of robberies a few years back against taxi drivers at this very bridge. Every time there is a murder in the city, this is one of the areas particularly infamous for witnessing the atrocities some humans are willing to partake in. I become alert as soon as these thoughts come back to my mind. The darkness engulfs the car as it starts going down the hill approaching the small, one-car bridge. The abundance of reeds and the thick and tall awiwadi trees make it questionable why even criminals would choose to hang out here.
¿Qué es eso?
Pablo asks and points to the road ahead. What the? Says Michael in shock. I feel a very rough noise as if going over a pothole. No, please no, exclaims Michael. Say Pancho? I think we got a flat. Great, exactly what we need, complains Samantha.
Sí, si está ponchada, se escucha.
Says Pablo, disappointed, and lets out a long sigh.
Dile que intente irse allá arriba, hasta la carretera, que aquí no es bueno estar tan de noche.
Damn it. I hope you've got a spare tire because, Michael says as he slows down. He says not to park here and to try to go all the way to the main road. With a flat tire? Up the hill? He responds and puts the car in park mode. ¿Por qué se está parando?
¿Por qué se está parando? Dile que siga, si sube.
Pablo says, and when I don't tell Michael, he yells.
Pero dile.
I aggravatedly turn to Michael and I say. He says we should really try to go up the hill before we try anything else. Michael turns the car off and gets out of the car.
Le dije, pero no me hizo caso.
I say to Pablo.
No sé si deberíamos estar aquí. ¿Qué tal si son ratas los que poncharon la llanta?
Says Pablo somewhat concerned. I drop my jaw and I turn to Samantha. He says he's worried it's thieves who set up a trap to puncture the tire. Freaking great. Why are we even doing this? I open my door to tell Michael of Pablo's suspicions. He has his phone's flash on and looking at the back driver's side tire, having already checked the front driver's side. I take my phone out and notice I still have 60% battery left. I'm not getting out. I don't have a light, says Samantha. I follow Michael as he goes to the back of the car.
Dile que nos vamos donde hay más tráfico porque aquí está peligroso. Ya le dije pero no hace caso.
I would have thought it hit the right tires, but they are okay, Michael finally says as he approaches the back passenger tire. There is a half moon in the sky, but all the trees absorb what little light it provides, making us rely on the dismal phone's flashlight. There are a lot of noises present now that the car is off. Crickets, and hopefully an owl, which startled even Samantha, who is still inside the car. Crunchy leaves seem to keep on being revitalized by different critters all around us. Most other noises that sound like voices can be blamed on the water running along the river. Michael left the headlights on, but the incline of the road only allows a few feet of visibility, making it dark all around. Samantha looks out from the locked back passenger window, trying to figure out if Michael has pinpointed the problem. Pablo is still sitting inside with his door open, indecisive of whether he should get out of the car or if he can convince Michael to keep driving regardless of having a flat tire.
No deberíamos estar aquí,
Pablo says, elongating his neck towards the woods, whispering fear. The tires look okay. We should go, I say to Samantha, and I then turn to Pablo.
No está ponchado.
Michael goes around the car with his flashlight, and I feel the pressure to follow right behind. All tires look okay. Whatever was making it sound like a flat tire cannot be seen. I point my light at the bridge to see if I find a pothole or whatever we went over, but the light is very weak and it creates a dark abyss surrounded by the shadows of the trees. We really need to get out, I say, and I walk to my door, which had been left open. Let me check one more time, Michael says. Why? What's wrong with him? Samantha says annoyedly. If it's not even flat, why the hell is he wasting time? I stand right outside my door, ready to go in as soon as Michael comes back around. He's walking by the car, right across from me, close to Samantha and Pablo. The car headlights flicker, but stay on. My phone vibrates and lights up, showing the low battery message, and then completely shuts off, killing the light protecting me from the shadows. What the heck? I had 60% battery, I say, and frantically drop my phone on the seat as it gets very hot to the touch. Ouch. What is it? Asks Samantha. It's hot.
Mejor ya vámonos,
says Pablo and pulls his door shut and proceeds to check his pockets.
¿Y las llaves?
I think Michael has them. Michael lost TNA. Where is Michael? Says Samantha while looking out her rolled-up window.
¿Y Michael? No lo veo,
says Pablo, surprised as he's looking out his window like Samantha. I have an urge to jump in the car as fast as possible and slam the door behind me, but I know that whatever fear I have will only be worsened if I follow my instinct. Every time I walked in the dark when I was little, I would start running as soon as I heard a leaf break. That would then make it feel as if someone was following me, and I would try to outpace whatever it was. After several times of escaping the jaws of several imaginary monsters, I realized that it's better to stay calm, and at the end, it will most likely be a cat, or a mouse, or a squirrel. Or a cat chasing a mouse, or a cat chasing a mouse chasing a squirrel. I don't see him, I say as I look around the car, standing by the door, clenching the top of the door frame. Why did he take the keys? We don't want the car's battery to die, Samantha says. Michael, where are you? It's not funny, I say, almost yelling. We stay quiet and Samantha rolls down her window halfway to see more clearly. Pablo locks his door, but keeps looking out. Where the hell is he? What kind of game is he trying to freaking play? Samantha says, frustrated. Michael! She yells. The scream is so loud it echoes back a few times. It must have scared a lot of critters because the apparently dead bush is full of movement scrambling away. One that was more noticeable was a thud and loud dragging of a heavy sack somewhere in the near bushes.
¿Qué madre es eso?
Pablo says, holding the door handle tightly. Michael! We need the keys! Do you have the keys? Samantha says, loudly, pretending not to have heard the noise. Great! I doubt we have any reception here. Pablo, where is your phone?
¿Tienes teléfono?
I ask Pablo.
No lo traje. Lo dejé en la casa.
He left it home. Why would you do that? Cries Samantha, passing her fingers through her scalp. Who does that? Doesn't matter, we wouldn't have reception anyway. What about a flashlight?
¿Tienes alguna lámpara? No, creo que no. O no, sí. Hay una en la cajuela.
He's got one in the trunk. Samantha and I stare at Pablo, but he only stares back.
Ahí está en la cajuela.
Pablo repeats, still holding the locked door handle. I guess we need to get it. All he said is it's in the trunk? Samantha sighs and opens her door. Well, I guess I am the macho here. Why did he take the key though? I say in disbelief. Why did he take the damned keys? I open the trunk, and Samantha heads to the back of the car after slamming the door shut to let Pablo know how she feels about his non-cooperation. We ravage through the things in the trunk, but we don't find anything resembling a flashlight.
¿Dónde está?
I ask, walking towards Pablo's door.
Ok, deja ya voy, les ayudo.
He says and takes a deep breath before opening his door and getting out to help us. He picks up a square box right away, located in the very front, that is clearly an oil lantern. It had previously been mistaken as miscellaneous junk by Samantha and I. He gets his lighter from his front shirt pocket and lights up the wick. Who still owns one of these? Samantha asks. Pablo, thankfully, I say gratefully. We take a long look at the path where the thud originated. On one side, most of the plants that benefit from the river are tall and green, and on the other side, the dead-looking bushes that only get the seasonal spring rains hibernate in dryness. She takes the lantern from Pablo and we stand still, thinking and looking at the dead silent path. Everything is quiet now, other than some distant crickets. What the hell are we doing? Says Samantha finally, half laughing, half complaining. We really have no other option, I answer. We have no phone and we need the keys.
Tengo miedo.
Pablo admits and gets between Samantha and I from behind. The lantern is surprisingly bright. I have never had the chance to use such a device. The one only thing that is closer to using a flame is a bonfire a few times in my life during chilly fall evenings. It gives almost as much light as the car's headlights. They flicker once again before stabilizing. The lantern is unaffected by whatever interferes with the electronics of the car. We need to turn those lights off if we want to have enough power to crank it at least once, says Samantha and looks at Pablo. He didn't have to rely on my translation to realize Samantha's contemptuous facial expression wanted him to go shut the headlights off. He comes back running to us once he does so. The left side of the path is more welcoming because all leaves are gone, and nothing can hide anything bigger than insects under the leaves on the ground. The right side starts with grass and then becomes bigger bushes, then some smaller trees, with the giant awiwadi trees in the very back, adjacent to the river. We stay closer to the left side of the path, being very careful of the hiding spots on the right. Pablo is holding an extended switchblade between Samantha and I as we walk slowly. Samantha is to the right, but we are mostly walking sideways, keeping an eye to both sides of the path. The flame provides enough light to ease my nerves, but it also creates moving shadows that startle us every time Samantha jerks the lantern or a small breeze creeps behind the glass. We have no idea where to look for Michael. We could have even passed him already because the vegetation is very dense. Check if the keys are on the ground or anything, Samantha says with her arm fully extended to the front.
Fíjate si las llaves están en el suelo por si se le cayeron a Mac. ¿De qué color eran?
I ask Pablo.
Como cualquier llave. Tienen una guitarrita de madera como llavero.
Pablo responds. They have a little wooden guitar as a keychain. I translate to Samantha. Michael! It's not funny. Where are you? Samantha says, pausing, hoping to get a response. We need to get out of here. This is very stupid. He's okay, right? I say in a low voice. Pablo shrugs, and Samantha ignores me. He's gotta be okay. Michael, if you don't make one peep, I'll break your recordings from earlier. You might want to come out and professionally yell at me to stop me, Samantha says and pauses again, hoping to hear something that might resemble human presence. What the hell? You are worrying us. Where the hell are you? A strong cold breeze passes right through us, making the trees whistle. The lantern's flame almost goes out. After the flame goes back to normal, we hear heavy raspy breathing, about 20 feet ahead in the path. We completely freeze for a few seconds, not taking our eyes off the location it's coming from. When the breathing stops, the three of us exchange looks at one another with pale faces.
¿Dónde madre están esas pinches llaves?
Says Pablo, almost having a panic attack. It's obvious he wants to run back to the car, but without the keys, he cannot go anywhere. We are not gonna go there, are we? I asked, in a shaky voice, trembling, feeling my legs and my arms numb. But that's Michael, what else can it be? Samantha says, trying to hide a shaky voice as well. You are right, what if he fell, right? I say doubtfully, still in a shaky voice, and I take a deep breath. We stand still without moving, hoping that we get there without having to move. What is even going on? Are we really about to walk into a scary wooded area with a growling creature? Our best hope is it's Michael dying. Either way is not very appealing. 2,000 miles away from home. Legs trembling like a rabbit about to be eaten by a coyote. Arms shaking like a gazelle running from a cheetah. Mind unable to respond like a chicken seeing a raccoon finally manage to break in the chicken coop. A prey walking into the predator's den. What are we even doing? What about your gut feeling you were talking about the other day? I finally say. I know. What do you suggest? Running won't help. Right. I grab a hefty piece of wood and hand it to Samantha, and I pick up another one for myself. Samantha takes a step forward, and we follow. The breathing starts again for a fraction of a second. This time it sounds like a guttural growl mixed between a lion and a crocodile. We take back the step we had taken forward. Samantha advances at a slower pace, making sure we don't fall behind and leave her alone.
¿Y si nos regresamos al carro y esperamos que pase un carro que nos ayude?
Pablo says, falling behind. I ignore his request to go back and wait for a car to drive by, although that does not sound bad. Samantha, having not understood, keeps going. I doubt she would have stopped to consider the idea anyway. Pablo quickly catches up to us. We get closer to the spot where the sound was coming from. Too quick despite moving very carefully and slowly.
Una mano,
yells Pablo. On the ground, about 5 feet away, hidden by grass, is the hand of a human. Michael's hand most likely. Most of the body is fully hidden by bushes and tall grass. Samantha immediately jumps closer to him, but then stops abruptly. Are you okay, Michael? Samantha says as she approaches Michael more cautiously this time. I hear what sounds like someone whispering from behind the body. The growl breathing starts back up again, which makes Samantha fully stand up and hold the stick like a bat ready to hit a baseball. We take a few steps back when we see the head of a black panther peek out of the tall grass into the open. We all gasp and I raise the stick I'm holding. Pablo extends his hand holding the switchblade, and Samantha almost drops the lantern when walking backwards and trips over a small branch. Stay together, Samantha says, catching her composure. That way we are scarier together. The panther comes out, showing its yellow sharp teeth, making a low guttural growl as it slowly approaches us, not taking its eyes off us, walking slow, ready to launch at any moment. We are all walking backwards and Samantha has taken the middle spot previously held by Pablo. We are slowly moving towards the car, staring at the beast's glaring eyes, reflecting the light from the lantern. Its mouth salivating as hot steam comes out into the now cold air. My body is so full of adrenaline, I did not even realize when the night had become cold. Pablo starts almost crying and it looks like he's about to run. Stay together and don't run, Samantha states.
No corras y quédate junto a nosotros pa que no se aviente.
I say in a voice so shaky it sounds like I'm crying. Pablo slashes his knife across the air and yells.
Ah. Maldito animal.
He slashes several more times and moves one step forward.
Vete pa donde saliste.
The panther does not get threatened by Pablo's motions and only roars louder, so loud, my ears start ringing. A chill goes down my spine that can only be attributed to primal fear, the same fear that has made us avoid danger, the fear that has kept us alive throughout thousands of generations. The adrenaline that rushes through my body is so intense I don't know how to respond. Pablo backs up and turns to go behind Samantha. Right then is when the beast decides to launch at Pablo and slams him to the ground with its right leg. Samantha drops the lantern and the night goes dark. I feel her hand push me, making us both fall. I look from left to right when the panther's growl starts again. The light does not die to our luck. The panther is now to my right and is looking straight at my face. My head feels like it's gonna explode, and my eyes are filling up with tears. Samantha crawls quickly backwards, not taking her eyes off the panther and I. Pablo is on the ground, unconscious, facing down. The jaguar starts growling on my face and it opens its mouth, baring its teeth. A strong stench enters my nose as hot steamy air hits my face. I stay still, not reacting to anything, feeling my whole body numb. The animal suddenly stops growling and drops its snarl, dropping its top lip, covering part of its teeth. It peeks up to look behind me, towards the river. I hear a whisper coming from the direction of Michael's body, which is not there anymore. I hear a splash, and I turn around, revealing a bright blue light. The beast startles and, without warning, takes off sprinting, following the path into the woods. A cloaked man comes out in front of us.
Regresa, animal estúpido.
The man groans angrily from under the cloak. The water from the river starts getting louder, and I hear another splash. Samantha stands up and runs in front of me, holding the lantern and her stick like a bat ready to hit. The man snaps his fingers, and Pablo's knife flies from the ground to his hand in the blink of an eye. The man holds the knife in front of Samantha, but grunts in anger, turning around and runs towards the direction of the panther when Samantha gives a few swings with her stick. "Who the hell was that?" Samantha asks, extending her hand, helping me get up. "I don't know, but we need to get out of here," I say, my voice sounding so distant, it does not sound like it is coming from me. I run to Pablo to see if he is okay. I shake him. He is unresponsive, and when I turn him over, I see a big slash ripping his shirt on his right rib cage. He is so wet and slippery, covered in blood. I check his pulse, and luckily I do feel something. It is faint but still present. "What do we do?" I ask Samantha, lifting my bloody hands. "We can't do anything, we need to get help," she says, bringing the lantern to my face. I get up to check if Michael has the keys. Samantha follows me to light up the way, but he is gone from the ground. "I ain't going down there," I cry. "We need to get out of here, run the hell out of here." "Yeah, we should have done that from the beginning." Samantha looks me in the eyes as she holds the lantern up high, and we start running back to the car. 3 cloaked figures appear behind the car before we can reach it. When we turn around, 2 other cloaked figures are sneaking up to us, with Michael standing behind. What is that?" Samantha exhales. "Michael?" I say, scared. The cloaked men charge at us from both directions of the path. We run through the leafless bushes, but after several seconds, I feel my body being yanked back by a torrent of air. I fall on my back and a searing pain travels across my spine. Someone approaches and stands by my head before they lean down to put a rag on my face. My eyes start to water and burn due to the pungent smell of the cloth, and my head starts spinning. I feel a strong sense of lethargy as my body is being lifted up in the air. It's Michael, the person carrying me. My head droops and I see Samantha on the ground, struggling with 2 of the cloaked men. Behind them, the blue light starts dimming. Michael looks back and runs faster towards the car. He stops and the lantern on the ground by Samantha still burns bright, allowing me to see a woman's braid under the hood on the person leaning down over me. 2 of the cloaked people shout at the blue light by the river as they send blunts of red whirls with their hands. The woman's breath whispers on my face and my mind goes blank.